Oh, hi everybody. It's Tammy Ray. Welcome to tonight's Sidelines Unite Team call. So grateful that you're here with us. And welcome to April. Oh my goodness, how is it April already? This is really the most exciting month because we have GTC coming up. So woo, we have a lot. We will have a lot to talk about after GTC, but tonight's call is just really special. I'm in awe, really, how God works in these mysterious, magical ways, because I feel like tonight's call is the perfect timing with the perfect person, and it's someone that I've been wanting to be on this call, and it just lined up for tonight. And I'm just so thrilled that we get the honor of hearing from Jessica Pilgrim, RVP in Karen Priemer's Success Line. And Jessica, woo! I know we have a lot to talk about, and I just can't wait to go ahead and hear your story and what intrigued you about Arbonne, some things that you did wrong, some things that you did right, tips that you have for us for your success, and woo, take it away. I can't wait to hear from you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you. And welcome to Sidelines Unite. That's the one thing I love about this company. We do all join in as a team, as a huge family. So it's not competition in any regard. It's simply family. And the bottom line is whoever you can help or someone else can help through Arbonne, the more the better. Bring it on. So for you type A's out there, I'm going to give you guys an idea of what we're going to talk about. So first of all, I'm going to start with kind of like the timeline to basically show you guys God's perfect timing in all of this, even though it wasn't the timing that I wanted. And then I'm going to do the timeline and then do like a brief summary of what I learned throughout those little timelines. And then we're going to have a question and answer period. So even jot down questions, or you can interrupt me. Oh, never mind. You're on mute. You can't interrupt. Jot down your questions and we'll open it up at the end. So you guys can ask whatever you want. I am an open book, so ask away. But like Tammy said, my name is Jessica. I was actually introduced, this is quite the coincidence that we're doing this in April. I was introduced to Arbonne in April, 10 or 11 years ago. Don't really remember, it doesn't matter. But a friend introduced this to me while I was still in college. She introduced it to me through the makeup, which I already had some makeup that I really liked, so I really didn't want to listen to a thing she said. Plus, I really thought, oh, bless her, she's doing another one of those little lipstick businesses. What is she getting into now? Because she was the type that would just jump from business to business. And I had never known anything about network marketing, so I really had a totally different mindset toward what network marketing is. So follow me, if you will, through this timeline. So I was introduced in April. I went to one of her group events, so a party or an education moment, if you will, in May. It was toward the end of May. I remember receiving the invitation and I didn't want to go. However, I needed to be a friend. I just wanted to be a person on the sofa, just a warm body, just to let her know that I was there to, support her. So I got there late, left early, and didn't buy anything. But I was a person on the sofa, so that's what mattered. However, while the person who was doing the presentation was talking, she mentioned how much Arbonne consultants make. And I began to, at that point, just a seed was planted. No extra thoughts, just a seed. It was just a matter of, I could be doing what I'm doing now, or I could possibly do that Arbonne thing. So you should know that I was still in college, earning my design degree. I was working at an architectural firm, and this Arbonne thing just wasn't on my radar until I learned about the income side of it. So seed was planted, went about my business. A few weeks later, in June, let's call it 2 weeks. In June, she invited me to a business meeting. You know how we have Discover Arbonnes. It was one of those type events. Once again, I only went because it was convenient and I wanted to support her. I never thought that this would be anything for me. So it was conveniently near where I worked at the architectural firm, and it was at a fabulous time to when I immediately got off work, I could make the meeting. Otherwise, I would not have hung around to wait for the meeting to start. So anyway, there's a little bit of God's timing. So at that meeting, it felt like God dropped it in my lap and said, run with this. And in my mind, I'm thinking, run with what? What are you talking about? You have set me up for this phenomenal career at an architectural firm, which is what I knew what I was going to do since I was 7 years old. And you've handed it to me on a silver platter. And it was the best firm within the driving distance I was willing to drive. So in my mind, I thought that everything was already laid out because it was such a smooth journey to get to that firm. I learned a lot along the way to get there, but it was smooth. So also in my mind, which you guys know we talk a lot about mindset, but I was thinking, there's no way I can do this. First of all, my face, back, and chest are covered in cystic acne. Who's going to talk to a person about skincare when I look like this? So I was thinking about me also. And I couldn't lose weight to save my life because my thyroid and adrenals were just shot. So that was also on my mind. Who's going to listen to a girl that looks like that and talk about nutrition products? Also, another mindset thing, I am super, super shy. I just make myself do things to introduce myself to people because I know what this company can do for others. And even to this day, like, I kind of want to throw up even doing this little Zoom with you guys, just to be real. So that feeling may never go away from you, but it's worth it to push through it. So in my mind, it was me looking the way I did, face-wise and body image-wise, and me getting over my fear of talking to people. So God and I argued for like 3 days. And then finally I was like, okay, this is silly. Like, you can't argue with God, right? So I just jumped in head first and didn't look back. I signed up on June 28th, immediately went district qual, completed district in July. So notice this time frame. It was introduced in April. I signed up at the very end of the month. So never think that the month is ended when it's only the 15th. Continue to go, continue to sign up people. That the date on the calendar does not matter. And then I completed district essentially in 1 month, because really 2 days, come on now. So I say that to say you have a 3-month turnaround typically with your business. So don't get frustrated when you give somebody a sample and then you don't have an immediate turnaround the next week. Give it a good 3 months. I mean, continue to follow up with that person because you never know where they are in life. And quite frankly, Arbonne is not a priority to them. It's a priority to you. So you need to be the one that follows up with anyone and everyone that you meet. All right. So back to the timeline. Sorry, I got off on a tangent there. Little learned lesson. I completed district in July. A few months later, I went area manager. A few months later, I lost area manager. A few months later, I went area manager and sat there for a few years. So there were a lot of lessons that I learned through that, which is not to compare yourself with anybody. Because the funny thing is, we are buying consultants and just people in general tend to compare ourselves to where someone is in the middle of their journey or already at the end of their journey when we're only at the beginning. We never compare ourselves to the beginning of the journey, which is actually the correct comparison. But I highly advise not to compare at all because God puts you on a journey that's just right for you. And His timing is perfect for you. It's not ever going to be the same as anyone else's. So please don't ever compare yourself. Simply listen to your upline, do the activities they recommend for you to do, and that's all there is to it. And just let the cards fall where they're made. The cards being your yeses and your nos that you get from people. So, Another thing that I did, so bottom line, I was area manager for about a good 6-7 years. One day, about the 7-year mark of my entire journey so far, I felt a God nudge, if you will, to get rid of the people in my life that were pulling me down. So get rid of the toxic people, if you will. So through a lot of prayer and boldness, I got rid of the toxic people in my life, as hard as it was. But it was the best thing I ever did, because it was freeing and it was weightless. And if you have people in your life that are pulling you down or don't see your potential and you're able to step away from them, please do. I mean, if you're not able to step away from them, you're going to need to listen to a lot more encouraging, like books on tape, read encouraging books, podcasts, listen to encouraging people. You're going to need to be around more of the positive people that see what you can do and that know your potential. So once I got rid of the people in my life that I knew were not being beneficial to me, I should say, and not in a selfish regard, it was very much a God thing. I felt like he was saying, you got to get rid of these people. So I just did. Once that happened, I dove into personal activity hardcore. I was constantly reading, constantly listening to podcasts, constantly books on tape, Audible, the Amazon Audible, which are books on tape too. So dove into personal activity like nobody's business, which I had not been doing for the 7 years that I was stuck. There's a key. A year and a half of personal development, I became regional vice president. And I know that there's no coincidence to that. It is simply the way that this process works. So that's the short side of my timeline. If anybody has questions in regards to it, I mean, obviously there was a lot going on in the 10 or 11 years I've been doing this. So some of the summary points I want to pull up are simply a reminder of the 3-month, give everything 3 months to see that 3-month turnaround. Never compare yourself. Surround yourself with positive people who build you up. Follow up with anybody and everybody that you've ever met. And here's the thing, we're about to go to Vegas and have some new products released. You never know, the people who told you no in the past might need what we're coming out with. So the fact that they told you no simply means it's not the right time or they don't have enough education. But maybe I should say it this way. Whenever Arbonne releases a new product, you never know who in that no list might need your help at that point. So never get rid of a name, never accept a no as an indefinite no. Even if they're rude and even if they hang up, whatever. That's just what it is. I mean, we're in the sorting business. That's what we do. We simply sort through and figure out who's a yes and a no. And the no's, we just get back to them later. Let's see. Stay. I love this one. You've heard it from anybody and everybody. However, as a reminder, stay consistent, not constant. If you are constantly running around like a chicken with your head cut off because of this business, that's not attractive, and most people are probably not going to want to join your business. But if you simply do the little daily activities that your upline recommends for you to do and do them consistently, you're going to reach the goals that you have. Maybe not in the exact time frame that you want, but you're going to reach them. Now, let me back up for just a second. Within that 7 years that I was stuck, I was not consistent. I would do a party and yay, rah, rah, like I don't have to do another one for a month. And it's like, no, I need to at least be doing 8 to 10. Like I didn't get that. So basically when I was stuck, just to give you guys the bottom line, I was not consistent and I did not do personal activity. So So when people recommend for you to do those things, it's actually real. I mean, I'm just a super, super shy person with horrible past acne and horrible past health issues. If I can do this, anybody can do this. Trust me, this was not on my radar. Super elated and blessed that it is, and I couldn't see my life being any different. But Tammy, I know that we were chit-chatting. Do you want to give any pointers in the staying consistent realm?
Well, I was just wondering, like, do you have an example? Yes, I would love to share on that. But before I do, would you like to share examples of what your business looked like when you were consistent versus when you weren't, and what that, like, what does that sound like in your, daily life?
Yeah. Well, I recently got married about a year ago. We do not have children. We simply only have a farm. So I don't have my life pulling in several different directions like some other individuals. But to answer the question, when I am in consistent activity,
And what does that mean?
I attend a couple different gyms. So I'm constantly meeting people in a like-minded fashion because the health industry side of things. So I meet people in gyms. And I constantly go to networking events. So you can contact your local chamber, or what are some other, I'm sure there's some clubs that might be near you all. Simply figure out where groups of people are meeting. You can also do meetup.com and figure out what common interests you guys have with certain groups of individuals and just show up and meet new people. So I'm constantly networking intentionally. I am doing group presentations and one-on-ones or one-to-ones, coffee dates, lunch dates, things of that nature. But mainly I have met those individuals through other parties, referrals, or networking. And then when I was not consistent, it was more like one party a month, or yay, I talked to one person and it's been 30 days. But not to excuse it, but that was part of the problem with me not putting much effort into personal development, because I was not growing me and figuring out how to get over that shyness. But the more that I do it, the more that I just suck it up and know that's what I need to do.
Love it. Love it. So, I mean, this is not, any new news.
Exactly. It's not.
Isn't it so interesting? Because I find that so often in this business, there's a whole stadium filled with people who are about ready to get started.
Yeah.
A few people on the field who are doing it,
Yeah.
But so, and I was there too. I was just like you. I was a district manager for, what is it, 8 years? I can't even remember now. Anyway, a long time, because I was getting ready to get started. I just wasn't. And here's the deal. We can say this with confidence that if you have not been in consistent activity, your business hasn't started yet. So you don't have to say I've been in Arbonne for 6 years if you've never really done, consistent talking to 30 to 40 people a month. I mean, you don't have to say you've started yet.
Yeah.
People look like, really, you've been in for 6 years, and what do you shouldn't you have the car or whatever? Because that was me. I was in for so long, and then not really going anywhere, but I hadn't really started yet. So
on the flip side of that, no, it shouldn't matter. It really shouldn't matter what people think or how long it's been, because you're doing something that they're not doing, and you're promised, if you continue on the path that you're doing, whether it's slow or fast, you are going to achieve things that they're not achieving because you're doing something different.
You're right.
So don't, that's back to the compare thing. Don't ever compare yourself.
It was because what I was doing during those 8 years, and what I've continued to do, is I was reading books that were personal growth books, not Oprah's book club books anymore. I was doing personal growth books, and so that was a slight edge change that was happening inside of me. So you're right. So I just think so often, though, in our business, I see this over and over. So it's interesting, the word consistent. When we're doing presentations, often I'll see people do a couple presentations and then whoop, let off the gas. Or
That's
they'll
what I
be
do.
really busy one month and then, woo, I was so busy, I think I'm going to take a break. It's like, no, you don't take a break till you're 6 wide MVP. I mean, really, you don't. That's just how it is. But, you know, you might be able to take a little more breaks, but not stop. I mean, we just can't let off the gas until we're in that massive growth momentum phase. And even when you promote to RVP, guess what? Your business changes and shifts, and, you know, not everybody sticks. You're constantly needing to talk and find new people to talk to. So consistency is so huge, because I see that happen. People will be busy one month, they're not busy the next month, or they go from one presentation and then, oh, I'm going to switch gears and go to another presentation, and then they kind of get diluted. And really what I see working is people who put the blinders on and they do the same presentation over and 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 over again, until, I mean, you could say it in your sleep, and it builds your confidence, because your skills get better. You get better at closing, you get better at inviting, you get better at getting people there. All of those things. And so for me, I you know, had an aha moment at the Green Bay conference last year, and I was convicted. I was talking to my friend Alexa Russo, who's also an RVP. We both promoted at the same time, and so I've been friends with her. And I was telling her, I want to commit to doing 100 presentations between Green Bay and GTC. And so she made me this nice little you know, star chart. Do you guys remember me showing you this? So I'm still doing it, just so you know. So I'm not going to get to 100 by GTC. I'm like at 68. I'm at 68, you guys. That's amazing, hey? So and so I give myself a star if I do a group presentation, or if I've had 3 one-on-ones. So 3 one-on-ones equals a star, okay? And what's been wonderful for me is because I moved to a new town, and I needed to challenge myself. I couldn't just let myself slide. You know, I knew I needed to get out and meet people, and that was such great advice. I'm in yoga, I'm at the gym, I am meeting people there because we do have common ground. But you guys, my business looks so different today than it did at the first star. We're gonna be launching into the UK this month, and it's because I've been pressing on. The person that's my UK connection was 3 people down from the initial person that I talked to last summer. I mean, think about that. If I had let off the gas even for a second, my business would not look the way it does. And so what this is tracking is presentations, and sponsoring, and personal QV. And I actually talked to Alexa today and asked her if she would revise it, so it's not, you know, Green Bay to GTC, so that it's just 100 presentations. Because you guys, if you did 100 presentations, your business not only will look so different, but you will be an VP, or well on your way to being a regional vice president. Because, tell us the math, Jessica.
Oh, when you told me that, I was like, well,
I'm going to share screen.
Okay, hang on a second. I just got on my phone and I was like, okay, so 12 months divided by, 100 presentations divided by 8. When you do 8 presentations for 12 and a half months, you're complete. Your 100's done. Ironically, well, it's not ironic. This is all lined up perfectly. Arbonne knows what they're doing. It takes about a year to become regional vice president if you do what Arbonne suggests, what we as upline suggest, what our upline suggests, which is 6 presentations, 8, 10, or 12. I just hit the middle of the road just for the fun of it, because I know anybody can do 8 in a month. You're going to be regional vice president in 1 year. Like, the math, it was just sweet. It was such an epiphany for me right there. I never thought of it that way.
I remember hearing that from Cecilia Stoll a long time ago. She said, do 100 presentations, and just remember, every presentation you do, that's earning the hubcap on your car. It's earning the steering wheel at the next one. It's earning the, you know, the key, the whatever, you know, the glove box, the windshield wiper. It's going to take 100 to get your whole car, all the parts. So just think of it that way. But it makes us all, you know, just personally accountable. And I tell you, it's pushed me because I'd look at my star chart and just, oh, okay, I want more stars. I got to get on the phone. I got to book some more stuff. And I can't wait to, you know, put another star on. I'm such a little kid, but it works. It's effective. And so what do you guys think of this? It's just, you know, and you don't have to do 100 presentations in 12 months. You could do it in 6 months. You could do it in 15 months, but do 100. Do the same one over and over and over until you're bored silly with it, but do it so many times that you can teach it with your eyes closed. You can, you know, bring your confidence and passion and excitement into it because you're not scared anymore, you know, and grow your confidence, grow your skills. And look, you're gonna be in such a different place. So there you go. What do you think? Is this something you guys would want to print out?
I love it. I already have people asking for it. Guys, my team, I'll send it to you.
Oh, good. So here, I'll stop sharing. I'm going to post this I'll send it to you, Jessica, and I'll post it in our groups and stuff. So yeah. I'm going to go ahead and just open it up for questions really quick. Where am I? Or you guys just unmute yourself if you have a question for Jessica or any comment, words of wisdom. We'd love to hear from you too, Karen.
Can you give the verbiage for the cold calls?
Yes, absolutely. So I use Patrice Madison's verbiage with everything that I do, even in daily calls to family, because it's so ingrained in me. So if anybody has the Patrice flashcards, this is on them. Or if anyone knows of her tricks, you can Google her too. So it's simply a matter of how you structure the call. So Tammy, do you use Patrice?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's fake this right quick. So if I am calling Tammy, hi Tammy, this is Jessica Pilgrim calling. Do you have just a minute to talk?
Sure.
Awesome. You could have also said, did I catch you at a good time? When the person says yes, like Tammy just said yes, you continue on. If they say no, you would say something like, oh, well, how about tomorrow night at 6 p.m.? Or you can even ask them, oh, how about tomorrow? Would lunch or evening be better for you? And get a time when they can chit chat. So because Tammy said yes, I would go on and say, oh, wonderful. If you recall, we met at the Bridal Expo. And then I wait. I pause. Say nothing else. I wait for Tammy to respond. So Tammy?
Yeah, I would be like, I'm sorry, who are you?
Yes, you'll get a lot of that. And then you simply remind them, if you recall, we met at the booth. It was the Arbonne booth. And we tried some of the lotion on our hands, or you taste tested the fizz stick.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Simply jog their memory from whatever experience where you met them. You can even describe the clothing you had on, like whatever jogs their memory. So after we're refreshed, so now we know each other again, would you simply ask a question? So ask what you want. Do you want them to try a sample? Do you want them to host for you? Do you want them to look into the business? So you decide what key question you want to ask and just simply ask it. Would you be open to having a little Arbonne get together? I'm really passionate about helping 250 women this month build confidence in their skin. After you get a yes or no, then I ask, would a weeknight or weekend be better for you? Because when they're thinking in their mind, oh, I got to have a get together, I got to do this, I don't even know what day, I don't know, like their whole calendar is in their head. You need to narrow it down for them and ask, would a weeknight or weekend be better? And only once you get that answer, only offer the dates that you have open. So in your calendar, you need to create white spaces or Arbonne open dates, such as when you look at your calendar, you need to book out everything that's non-negotiable: church, family, date night, taking the kids to the ball games, stuff like work, stuff like that. In the white spaces, say you and your husband and your entire family figured out Thursday nights and Saturday afternoons are my opportunity to do Arbonne events. you would simply offer that person, let's say they say weekend, you would simply say, oh, well, that's fantastic. I have April 8th or April 15th available. Which is better for you? You don't toy around and figure out who's going to do what and when. Simply ask the same way you would book an appointment at a doctor's office or at a salon. I mean, we're running a business here. It's not, let's joggle with dates until we lose our minds. So that's how I do a call. It's simply
just to piggyback on what you're saying. I mean, it's really you're asking permission to talk right now.
Yes.
You're jogging their memory of who I am, and then I just bring up. If you recall, I remember you saying you were interested in losing weight. I remember we talked a lot about your skin. I remember us chatting, you know what I mean? And it's just all about them.
Absolutely.
You know, are you ready to get started? Are you ready to, you know, would you like to meet up and hear more? Would you like to view a video first, you know, in the meantime, before we meet up, whatever. But it's all about them. It's really just about what they told you they wanted or what they were interested in. So you're just reminding them, I remember we talked about this.
Absolutely.
And I'm calling up because I care, you know, I care that you want to lose weight. And I really feel like Arbonne can be a value in your life.
Yeah.
A blessing and tool for you.
Absolutely.
You know? How's that? Was that okay, Terry? Okay, good.
Anybody else have questions? You can unmute. The button is to your far left on the bottom.
We'd love to hear from Karen too. Welcome home, Karen. Oh yeah, Melinda, yes.
Hi, Jessica. My name's Melinda, and I have been at a silent yoga retreat all weekend, so I'm a little...
You have yoga brain.
All in my head, but Tammy will know that this is a normal question for me. When you get your presentation,
yes,
what do you do? Are you doing core? Are you doing facials? Are you doing nutrition talks? How do you guide your team?
The happy dance. No, I'm just teasing.
Oh, I want to know that.
No, the core. I only teach core. Back to when I was stagnant, I would do any kind of presentation that came my way because we had lots of presentations to choose from, but I found out that I was not being duplicatable. So I was confusing teammates because we had too many things to choose from. I only do core. I've been doing core ever since Donna came out with it, and that's all I teach. I ask people if they would be open to having a get-together in regards to me wanting to build confidence through skin, or I have a I have a passion toward helping individuals lose weight for swimsuit season. I'll get them through that, but I do the core presentation when I get there. So they learn about skincare and nutrition every time.
And when you're closing the core presentation, do you get ASVPs out of that? Like somehow I'm losing them in the core presentation. It's like I've given them so much information.
Do you find value in the ASVP?
Yeah.
Personally?
Mm-hmm.
Is your passion being felt throughout the presentation in regards to the products and the price point?
I'd like to think so. But
okay.
I mean, the end result, I think that I get very swayed by the feeling of the crowd. So if I feel like I've lost them, then it feels like I'm like, wah, wah. But
okay.
That's a different
coaching session. No, this is good.
No, I love these questions. So do you feel like at all of your core presentations, do you feel like you lose people at the same point or different points throughout the presentation?
Well, just to be clear, I've done every kind of Arbonne presentation out there.
Yeah.
And even some that are not out there.
Yeah. I've made up my own too. I feel you. Yeah.
So
So
I haven't done the core, but what I've done is I feel like when I bring them in for nutrition, I should give them just nutrition. And it's been all about education and the clothes. I mean, Tammy, I'll tell you, the last 2 months have been crazy for me. The clothes has just been flat. Like I feel like I have had all these people at my house, but no, very little sales this month. Yeah.
are you asking for the sale? At the end of the presentation, are you asking, are you deliberately going even perhaps to a different area? Do the trifecta close, go to a different area, say, you know what, I'm going to head over to the dining room table. Whoever needs to leave first, come on over. We'll get you checked out. Anybody have specific questions? And we can even talk privately, because I know some of this stuff is pretty private. Or you might not want your friend to know that you're using XYZ.
Mm-hmm.
And you just wait. And you might even need to coax some of them over to you sometimes. And then I have also been known to plop down beside somebody on the couch and be like, okay, so what are you thinking about doing? You want to do the whole ASVP? But I am super passionate about these products and this price point. I don't do it to the point of being rude. If they tell me no, then obviously I'm going to back out. I'm going to like hang out on the couch with them for a minute until I see that the next person starts looking around or looking for me and have questions.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be deliberate in your clothes. The same way that your hairstylist is going to ask, do you want to leave with these products that I put in your hair? Or your physician's going to write these prescriptions for you knowing that you're going to go get them filled. It's up to you whether you want to go get them filled. But all these people who have these businesses are closing. They're simply closing the deal.
Mm-hmm.
We have to do the same thing. We're running a business here.
Love it.
Does that make sense? Does that help?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
I mean, you might have to just step out of your comfort zone and get a little more bold toward the end of the presentation. You know, at least try it. It's not going to hurt to try it on a group of people.
So can I give, this is all I know. I don't know if it's a secret because I don't really know what I'm saying, but this is the only hint I've had from Carol Bodell about GTC and everything is that we need to do healthy living presentations. So there you go. That's all I know, but go heavy on healthy living right now. So I don't, that's all I know.
Yeah.
So there's a little tip, and Karen's probably smirking. She probably knows stuff too. But that's what Carol's really emphasizing right now is take the healthy happy hour and run with it.
Yeah. And the thing is, even with the core presentation, if you want to focus only on the nutrition side of it, go for it. Just know that you're cutting 50% off of your business. That's why I like to incorporate all of it. I quickly go through that core presentation with passion. I'll flip through the pages. So I have my little presentation. I'm like, skip, and I'll say that I'm skipping pages, and I let them know I am reading this. I'll say something like, okay, guys, so I do this presentation with everybody, so I've got it memorized, but just to prove to you guys that this business is duplicatable, I'm going to read straight from it. First of all, it keeps me on track, and it lets you know that anyone can do this business. So here we go. All right, skip. All right, here's the good stuff. And then I start with the Petter story, and then I do the skincare, nutrition, close, I'm out. So I think skipping a few pages lets them know too, like, oh, she's not going to read all of that, because I really only end up reading like half of it. Because, I mean, you know, the first few pages are, this is how you set up. This is what you do. Thank your host. And they don't know what's on those pages. I just skip them to make them think I'm going to get through this a little quicker so they don't have to hang out with me as long. And two, I do take, if the person is a drinker, I do take wine with me. So I do let the host know, do not make anything yourself. I am going to bring the wine if you want it. And we drink fizz sticks, and I take protein bars with me. So my hosts don't do anything but get the people there. Now, some of them are the hostess with the mostest, so I don't argue if they want to just do something, but I feel like that's taken a lot off of hosts' plates, if you will.
I love it. All right. Any other questions? Oh, there's Karen. Yes.
Hi, Jess.
Hello, welcome back to the States.
Thank you. Although Hawaii is in America.
I know, but you're like on the big island instead of the teeny tiny islands. Anyway.
Yeah, it's awesome. Anyway, I just want to reiterate, you are absolutely right. The core presentation is the foundation of our business. And what Tammy said is absolutely right, what Carol said. And I can't say more than that, but I'm just going to reiterate that she was right just until GTC.
So excited. All right, cool.
And hey, I have a question, Jessica, and this isn't necessarily for me, but for everybody, because you're really good at this. But how has social media, or AKA Facebook, or impacted your business since you started using that? Like every month you're really big on sponsoring, and every month your personal business is quite large.
Mm-hmm.
So how's that working for you? Is that a part for you, or is that something?
Yeah, it's actually huge. It's actually how Tammy and I communicate too. We've got to use each other's cell numbers. But it's not so much about the posts that I do. It's about the conversations that I create or the complaints that I comment on. So if somebody's complaining about their baby having eczema, you know how people just gripe sometimes. And not that that's something bad to gripe about, but you understand what I'm saying. I'll simply private message them and let them know that I have a solution for them. Would they be open to trying a sample, or would they be open to looking into the business if they're complaining about not having enough money at the end of the month? So it's a matter of when we meet with people, we listen. When you do social media, you simply read. So I am on Facebook quite often, but it's with strong intent to find someone with a need or multiple people with a need. Yeah, I do find a little bit of success with random posts that I do, but I also follow up with the individuals. So let's say I do a post about the healthy nutrition, like I posted before and after on somebody's weight loss success. When I see someone has liked it or commented on it, I'll private message them immediately. So it's very much a follow-up system for me. Great.
Hi there, Jessica.
Hello.
As a follow-up to that, though, what is it that you say? I noticed that you liked my post, or I saw your comment on my post. Is that how you continue the dialogue or start the dialogue? Because you don't want to make it sound like you're kind of creeping on everybody's pages, but at the same time, you do want to fill the need, right?
Absolutely. I mean, so it could be anything in regards to, so I saw that you liked the post that I shared about the clean eating program. Would you like to join us in April? Very simple. Or if their complaint, let's go back to the baby eczema thing. Hey, I'm so sorry. I noticed that you posted about your baby boy having eczema. Have you ever considered Arbonne? Or have you ever tried Arbonne? Would you be open to trying a baby sample? I can mail it to you for free. Mm-hmm. You can even give testimonies in regards to it. Just start the conversation. Here's the thing. In my mind, I am never intruding on a conversation. I am only helping.
Right.
So it's a lot about mindset too. So if you think that you are bothering someone, you might be, but I never think that I am, because I'm only and very, very intentionally helping.
Agreed. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
I love it. I love it. Well, we're gonna close up the call. Any parting words of wisdom, Jessica?
Stay consistent.
Ooh, beautiful.
All we do in this business is sort through your yeses and nos. Do not put emotion into it, and do it consistently.
I love it. It's so true. I've written this down over and over to myself lately, that success is a mindset, and it's all about them. Mm-hmm. And I love how you just said, when we meet with people, we're listening. You know, when we're on social media, we're just reading. There is a difference there. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes if we don't know what to say to someone, it's because we haven't heard enough. We haven't asked them enough questions to know what their need is. So yeah, if we get hung up, we just need to have more dialogue so we can ask questions and figure out where the need is. So I love that. Thank you. I know in this business, it's so key for people to be able to see themselves doing what we do. So we want to be the most positive, loving, compassionate person in the room or on social media. And they need to know that there's money in this to be made, because people, they're not going to bed at night thinking about which skincare or nutrition am I going to use. They're worried about how they're going to pay their bills. So I love a new phrase that I've been using, which here you go, we'll hand it over. MVP pays more than PhD. MVP pays more than PhD. That's all they need to know. And it's like, click, they'll get it.
Love it.
Isn't that good? So yeah, people can see themselves doing what we do because we're so approachable and likable, and they know there's money in it. Ooh, and we're listening for their need. I think we're in a really good place to sponsor and sponsor well. So thank you so much. And you're so right. Consistency is key. I appreciate you being on. And I'm going to go ahead and post the 100 presentations document.
Yeah,
Alexa Russo. Woo! She's a genius. Arbonne hero. Love you guys. Thanks so much for being on tonight. And we appreciate you. So have a great month of April. Let's get our calendars booked and start our 100 presentation document list. Woohoo! Get your stars.
Right. Thanks, Tammy.
Love you guys.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.